All right, welcome back everybody. Today we are going to be talking about how we solve using square roots, and this will be our second day talking about this. So just like we learned yesterday, the first thing we need to do is we need to always get whichever variable is being squared all by itself. That has to be the first thing we try to do. So when we do this, remember we always get rid of the piece that's added or subtracted to it first. So we're going to get rid of the minus 2, and the way we unhook it is with a plus 2. So these two are going to cancel off, and I'll be left with 36k squared is equal to 7 plus 2 is, of course, 9. Now, once we get this far, we need to still get rid of the 36. 36 is hooked on by multiplication because we don't see a sign. So the way we unhook it is using division. Now, 36 divides off 36, so those two disappear. But I didn't do it to both sides, right? I got to do it to both sides to keep it equal. So when I do this, I'm going to be left with k squared. 9 divided by 36, this is a great spot for a calculator. 9 divided by 36 is just 0.25. And then we want to get k alone. So to get k alone, we want to take the square root of both sides. Remember, this is the new stuff that we started working on yesterday. Remember, when you take the square root of something that's squared, they cancel each other off, and you're left with whatever was inside, which is just k. Now, if I take the square root of 0.25, second square root, 0.25, I get 0.5, which makes that my answer. Remember, if you're struggling to figure out where your square root key is on your calculator, please don't be afraid to ask. Here's the second problem we're going to work today. So in this problem, we're going to start by adding 6 to both sides. That's going to make these two cancel off. Now, the 36 n to the second is just going to drop down. On the other side, I have 58 plus 6, which I believe is 64. Now, to work on this problem a little bit more, we can't take the square root of both sides just yet, because this one still has 36 hooked onto it. And it's hooked on by multiplication, so we can unhook it, that's right, using division. So these two pieces are going to cancel each other off. And that's, of course, going to leave me with n squared. Now, 64 divided by 36 is 1.777. And remember, we've been rounding to 2 decimal places. So since this is bigger than 5, that's going to round this up to 1.78. And we're not quite done yet, right? We haven't gotten n all by itself. It's still n squared. So this is when we want to take the square root of both sides. Remember, square roots and squares cancel each other off, so I'm just going to be left with n. Now, the square root of 1.78 is 1.334. 1.334. 4 is not big enough to round that up, so we're just going to chop it off, and we are calling that good. Nice job, guys. Let's do like 2 more of those, and then we're just going to keep it a nice short video. And if you're still struggling, I want you to just reach out to me and get some help. We also have the day 1 video on this from yesterday that's very much the same thing, so you could always watch that a second time to sit there and get a little bit more instruction. So looking at problem number 3, let's get k squared all by itself. We're going to start by subtracting 2 from both sides. That's going to make these two cancel out. I'm going to have 36 k to the second over here. 51 take away 2 is 49. Now, as we move along, we want to get k squared alone, so we're going to divide by 36 and divide by 36, and that's going to leave us with k squared. 49 divided by 36 is 1.361111. Now, that 1 is not big enough to round it up, so we're just going to call it 1.36. To wrap this problem up, we just need to get k by itself, which means taking the square root of both sides. Those two, of course, cancel out, and we're going to be left with k equals second square root 1.36 is 1.1, now 66, right? 6 is bigger than 5, so it's going to round the second one to a 7. Nice job. Let's do one more, and then we're going to call this video a wrap for today. Number 4. I'm glad we're talking about this one, because this one's kind of unique because this is in the front. Now, remember this, we always got to get rid of the piece that's hooked on by addition or subtraction first. So we're going to get rid of this 6 by adding 6 to both sides. That's going to make these two cancel out. So I'm going to get 36x squared. 3 plus 6 is, of course, 9. Now, to get x squared alone, we want to divide off 36. These two cancel off. So you're just going to be left with x squared equals. Now, 9 divided by 36 is going to be 1. Oh, let's actually punch that in. 9 divided by 36 is 0.25. So, when we come over there, we want to square root both sides. These, of course, cancel off, and we're going to be left with x equals. Now, the square root of 0.25, second square root, 0.25, is 0.5, which makes that our final answer. Now, again, this was a really short video for us because we did so much practice with this yesterday. If you're struggling with this at all, just reach out. We can normally fix the issue pretty quick. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Take care.